Okay, we're back at Mike's house again, working on his 71 Dart that he's modifying. And you can see what's been done here with the new 8 3/4 he's got in it here. It's been shortened down. He has, I think he said 16 inches of
15
tire.
15 inches of wheel well.
15 inches of wheel well. Now it's already been mini tubbed 3 inches. So he's going to change tires and rims and change his back spacing to get that tire out towards the fender. But you can see he's got lowering blocks there and the disc brake kit for the rear end. You can see all that. And then he's assembling the cowl tracks here a little bit, so he's got it tied up right here for now, so it doesn't drag on the ground. But one of the things I wanted to show you is how he did his subframe connectors and his spring relocation up there. You can see how the spring relocation's done on the frame there, and then it runs right into a subframe connector that runs forward. So that whole piece is subframe connected now all the way to the front cross member.
Come on. Come on, kid. Come on, you go to night.
Of course, he lowered it a little bit. It's got an angle shim in there. And then he's got an 18-gallon gas tank for it, getting ready to go in. But that's that part of it. So he made these brackets here, and he's welded to the original mounting place for the leaf spring bracket. And so they are actually one, this is all one piece right here all the way across. And then he's got adjusting holes so that he could give himself a little more tire clearance here. He had about half that. Now he can put big slicks on it if he wants to. And you can see the fender lip distance there he's got now. Block a little sun maybe.
About 4 1/4.
Yeah. About 4 1/4 inches there on the outside. That'll be where the wheel spacing comes in for the new wheels. Then the cowl tracks will all be mounted in here, the pivots and all that good stuff. And then his subframe connectors run all the way up to the front cross member. That's 2x3 box, channel slipped over the subframe and welded in. And then he made some modifications to the inside under the hood area. You'll see that's changed quite a bit there. Here's his Hemi Denny K member and rack and pinion steering. All those good pieces down in there. He's got the extension for his steering shaft on the way. And he's painted the inside here while he had everything out. And back there where that cardboard is going to be a solid aluminum wall back there. And he moved his windshield wiper to the inside of the firewall in the cabin. And he's also moving his ignition module, coil, and regulator to inside the cabin. And he's going to be running his wiring underneath those 2 layers, between the layers. And then the front wiring is going to be run through this. There's holes underneath here and in the back there. And he's going to run his wires through this tube right here and come out up behind the panel there. And it's coming along. It's getting there. And then the ride height on it right now is set at the low height, but he's going to be raising that 1.5 inches or so. And while he's got everything all apart, he's going to be doing the dash with aluminum. He's got brushed aluminum to do the dash with. That'll all work out really nice. Ordering new gauges, new electronic gauges, GPS speedometer for it, all that good stuff. Okay, now if you didn't have enough to do already, he's shaved the column, removed the column shifter holes and lever and all that good stuff. He'll be putting all that back together with his steering wheel that he already has for it.
Doesn't have to be cars.
Okay, this is the Hemi Denny suspension kit over here. Hopefully you can see in there. That's a fuel line sticking down there right now. That's how the Hemi Denny kit goes in. And this tube in here, right there, is for that's a temporary part. It's to measure your shocks, to give you to show you what your ride height is going to be with different shocks. So that piece will come out when the new shocks go in. And then this part up here, the upper hoop, bolts to the old shock mount right there at the top and through the side where you can see that big nut back in there. Nice geometry, nice angles. He's gonna have a lot of fun with this thing when it gets all done. Okay, we're gonna try to show you how those temporary adjustable bars work. If I can get in here without getting in Mike's way.
You'll be all right. Pin's right here. There's a pin. There's a pin. There's holes in this bar, obviously, for adjustment. And Denny's got them set from 12 inches all the way to 14 and a half. And that's eye hole to eye hole on your shock length. There's also a hole in the middle at 13 and a quarter. So you can slam this thing on the ground, or you can bring it up where there's roughly, I think, 6 inches under the K-member. And from the body, the unibody, I don't remember if it's 7 and a quarter or 8, something like that. We can measure it right now in a bit, because we're lowering the A-arms, which is going to raise the body on the car. It's going to ride higher. All right, got that done. We're going to get the wheels back on, and we're going to see where she sets now in relation to the lip on the fender well here. Probably should have the top of the tire right about here, I'm guessing. Before, we were buried in here about maybe an inch, inch and a quarter. So let's see what happens.
Okay, this will be his new ride height by adjusting those adjustable rods where the shocks are going to end up going. So now it looks like this instead of the fender being an inch down over the tire tread. So that's what he was shooting for. And now he's got a decision to make here. I think he's already made it from the sounds of it. He's got a TCI shifter here. And it's okay, nothing wrong with it. Seems to work okay, but he thinks he's going to go with this one because he likes this one better. And these are screwed down to the bench so he could feel them, how they work and everything, and make his decision on that. And this one has a couple of extras in it he really likes. Like for one, it has the switches for neutral safety and the backup lights already on it. And it has a dart knob on it. I see the lights reflecting in that, kind of hard to see. But the dart knob and the overdrive on off. The gear vendor's overdrive on off switch built into the button knob.
B&M shifter.
Right there under your thumb. So that's a B&M shifter. And he got the heavy duty 3-foot cable for it, the race cable. Those race cables are nice and solid. There's no give to them. There's no deflection in the cable. They work really well. And the 3-foot cable just makes a loop that goes from the shifter. It just loops forward to about where the bell housing is, and then it turns around and comes back to the shifter. I mean, to the transmission linkages. So it keeps that cable away from the header area where the tubes come down along the block, because that melts those cables in a hurry. Works really well. Okay, so the next video you see about Mike's car will be more progress on putting it all together and getting it closer to firing up. And then the last video we'll do on it is of the car complete and together and running. All right, we'll see you in the next video.